Hello everybody, back with this large beech project. Now one of the people that watched my last video suggested that I look to fuse one lot at a time, which I've taken to mean, and I think seems like a way forward, is to try and get, for example, these three trees into one. So and then these three trees into one. And hopefully that in that way they won't be completely shielding each other out light-wise. And then once these are fused into two individual trees, I can try and get those to fuse. So I'm looking at trying to get each block of 2 or 3 trees, in some cases 4 maybe maximum, which will leave me with, I think, maybe about 5 fused individual trees, which I would then look to fuse again into one tree, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. That's what I'm about to do. I almost wish I'd done this back before the trees had leafed out. It would have been easier. But no one said life was supposed to be easy, and there are many who feel that if life was too easy it wouldn't be any fun. I'm not entirely convinced that that's true, but there you go. So I'm going to attempt some fusion groups, which will then become one, and then those ones will be several, will then become one again. If that's, I am hoping I'm kind of making some sort of sense. This is in some ways a more straightforward project. So now it's a question of the next these I've already got into 4 at that point, 3 there. I think what I'm going to do is just take these 2, and this one is already, this one I'm actually going to wrap around. And then wire in place. Now these individual fusing could take 2 summers, even 3 summers to complete before the trees are actually ready to be then refrozen into fusioned into one whole tree. But as I said in the last video, on this tree. And I'm going to keep calling it a tree rather than some trees. None of us know how long we've got in us. But we have to be optimistic and realistic. And whilst I don't think I've got 20 or even 30 years to get a tree with this sort of girth and the taper that I'll eventually achieve, I think I've possibly got the 5 to 10 years in me that this will take. So those will now fuse as hopefully individual trees. And we won't get the dieback that we had when they were, I think I had 45 trees in there originally, and they were just too cramped and shaded each other out somewhat. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off so I don't bore you, and come back and we'll look at this once I've wired up all the individual blocks of trees. Okay, so I've now put together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes, 9 separate trunks comprised of 2 or more trees to be fused together over the next couple of years. However, you can see in here I've placed a plant pot, and that's pushing them out somewhat, allowing light to get to the inside, hopefully. I've braided them together in some places where it's been possible. Some I've cut short, but always where there is a existing bud. Don't know how well you can see that. I have chopped this tree off at this level, but there is a bud and a leaf and shoots there, so that will draw and keep this tree trunk alive. So now it's just a question of this will be fed and watered. For the rest of this summer, maybe prune back at the end of the summer, a bit like you would a beech hedge, and then probably allowed to regrow again next spring. Although I've still got a lot of gaps at the bottom, I may repot it. Either bring these closer together. Thank you, Cooper. Sorry. Cooper thought he'd get in on the act. What was I saying? Oh yes, I may repot it. And I have some other beech seedlings I can use to plug some of these gaps. I may leave it for another year. I will make that decision based on how well it grows over this year. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching.